Hello everybody. So we all remember our first day in Rec Room. I actually cringe to think back on my first avatar. I looked like a 5-year-old on the way to kindergarten. What is with that flower hair clip? Anyway, here's 30 things that everyone finds confusing about Rec Room, especially when they first start. Number 1. When and how you get reward pop-ups from Rec Room Originals. Something that always seems like random trickery from Coach is when and where you get reward boxes in the game. Honestly, I'm still confused about it. I know it's random, but sometimes it seems downright targeted. I'll play 10 rounds of dodgeball and get one box containing black and white film, and my friend will have accumulated 5 cakes, 150 tokens, and a partridge in a pear tree in the same amount of time. It feels unfair, and I can't help but be puzzled as to why the reward box generator seems broken most days. Number 2. How to customize an outfit. When you first start playing Rec Room, you get prompted to make an outfit. Everyone slaps together something stupid in a hurry, determined to get started playing the game. I was no exception. However, once you're playing, you don't really look at yourself much, and it's usually not until you've encountered some extremely drippy outfits that you start realizing your own outfit sucks, and you develop some curiosity about how you're supposed to customize it to not look like it's your first day in the game. Number 3. Why a room isn't loading. It took me ages to stop being perplexed about why I was standing in front of a load screen that wasn't going anywhere. I'd stand there for like 5 minutes in VR, unsure if I was 2 seconds or 2 years away from loading into a room with my friend. Where is my friend? Did they make it? Are they sitting on the load screen waiting patiently too? Did they restart their game? Is anything real anymore? Like, there is nothing more effective at making you second guess your existence in a state of confusion than a load screen of death. I swear. Number 4. Where gift boxes come from. I'm always ashamed of one of my first Rec Room memories, but since you probably love hearing about cringe Tara moments, I'll relive it for you. So it's my first week in Rec Room, I'm in 3D charades having fun, and after the round, someone in the group of friends I was hanging out with sent me a gift. I literally was so mystified that I thought Coach sent it, and I said, oh yeah, Coach always be sending me gifts. I'm pretty sure the person who sent it to me was standing right there and facepalmed hard, if my memory serves me correct. Gift boxes are a wondrous and confusing thing to a new Rec Room player. Actually, sometimes gift boxes still confuse me, but that's for other reasons nowadays. Number 5. Why militaries are so popular. Seriously though, someone please tell me why they're so popular, because I'm still stumped. You go there's a gate, people are literally gatekeeping, and the whole thing just seems rife with corruption. What do you get for climbing the ranks? Why do they need to host so many recruitment events? Is their turnover really that high? Are they actually trying to conquer the world? So many questions. Number 6. Why certain games are so popular. Something most people who play Rec Room will remain puzzled about is why certain games are more popular than others. Wedding Costume FNAF Fun 1, 2, 3, 4 will be full of people every single time you visit, despite it literally being a park template with a few measly costumes. Then you will discover a map that is more deserted than northern Canada, yet it's an impeccably designed work of art. Why isn't this getting traffic? How come the maker doesn't have 1 million subscribers in game? You find yourself shaking your head and trying to figure out why the Rec Room universe functions how it does, but that gives you a headache, and so you just go back to Golden Trophy and try not to think about it. That's what I do anyway. Number 7. How to use a maker pen. The maker pen is a mysterious tool that holds infinite creation within. It's a perplexing tool that only the most savvy creative minds can successfully wield. Therefore, 99% of the Rec Room population is confused by it and refuses to go anywhere near it. You know I'm not wrong. Number 8. How to use your watch. I personally think that every game should have a watch. It's a handy place for all the settings to live. I'll go play other VR games and try to open my non-existent watch because I'm just too accustomed to Rec Room. However, for new Rec Room players, opening your wristwatch doesn't seem intuitive, and I've seen countless level 1s run around aimlessly because of this, looking puzzled. Mind you, I started before the days of orientation. Back then we had nothing. Coach did not inform us on how anything works. Number 9. How to revive other players. It seems easy enough to slap someone's hand and save them after a goblin encounter. Surprisingly though, even for some seasoned Rec Room players, this ends up a confusing ordeal. Either you have a sword in your hand, so it doesn't work, or you feel like you did hit their hand, but then you turn around and you see that they're still not revived. Or the moment that you do revive them, a barrel goblin spins and takes you out. This one simple act of trying to save another player in a quest is often a baffling ordeal for new and old players alike. Number 10. How to spawn consumables. I think the first time someone dropped a pizza on the floor near me, I wondered, what sorcery is this? Didn't know where it came from, had no concept of the backpack, and probably didn't even realize you could ingest the food at all. When you're new to Rec Room and everything is completely foreign, it's even those simple moments that leave you feeling mesmerized and wanting to know more, so that you too can be a pizza wizard and confuse new players. Number 11. How to gain XP. Couldn't be me being so confused how XP works that I played Rec Room for hours every day for a year before wondering why I wasn't level 50 yet. Both new and seasoned players often get bewildered when they hit level 18 in like 2 days, but then they're stuck on level 43 for what seems like all of eternity. Here's a chart that explains the reality. Lower levels are easy, then it gets increasingly harder. But because we don't have these charts readily plastered on walls around the rec center and our dorms, most Rec Room players just get confused and infuriated. I know I did. Number 12. How the camera works. The camera in Rec Room is literally one of my favorite items. I take pictures of everything. A fish in an aquarium, my pet emus, new outfits I discover. I will literally take a photo of a photo. However, this is a mystifying item for many players, screen mode especially. If you don't know the pain of trying to take a photo in screen mode, be thankful. From being able to master the clicking motion with your hands to summon your camera, to being able to work the tripod mode, cameras are a baffling experience at best. You'll get the hang of it eventually and stop setting off a 10-second timer as you drop the thing on the ground. I promise. Number 13, how to use a creator code. So verified people with a blue check mark next to their name in Rec Room have a creator code, and most people have no idea how this works. It's a bit confusing, I'll admit. So you enter code TARA, for example, in the top right-hand corner of your watch here, or find my profile and hit support, and any money that you spend in Rec Room gives me a little portion of so I can keep running this channel. It doesn't cost players anything. Sometimes people think it does, but it doesn't. You pay the same for your tokens, and you get the same amount of tokens, and every single time you use the code, it lasts for only 45 days, so if you would go kindly double check and make sure you're using a creator code the next time you're in Rec Room, I would really appreciate it. Another thing people get foggy about is they say, well, there's no point supporting you, Tara, because I never buy tokens in the game. I do understand that point, but it does help me with free advertising too, because other people will potentially see your support, and it just reminds them that they could also be doing the same. So it's a win-win either way. Number 14, what favorite rooms are. Rec Room without clarification on how favorite maps work has to be a puzzling way to go about things. Imagine you go from room to room and you never know how to find your way back to ones you like. It would be like eating 100 different foods, ranging from putrid to incredible, but once you're done eating one, you forget the name immediately and have no way to remember which was which. I can only imagine. Suddenly I feel very bad for all the confused new players out there who are going through this on a daily basis, just because they don't know how to favorite a map. Number 15, how to party up. You fist bump. That's all there is to it. Easy, right? If you play on screen mode, you probably do get a prompt for it, but in VR, you just gotta figure that out. The first time someone holds out their fist and says, party up, I guarantee you had a blank stare in response.
Huh? Party up what?
But since I'm a professional at Rec Room now, I even use the term partying up outside the game. I once saw a flock of quails trying to cross the highway outside my house, and 3 got left behind, and I screamed to my friend, those ones forgot to party up. True story. Number 16, odd terms like RecTuber. Okay, this is another true story. I was in my dorm hanging out with a friend back in 2021, and they were talking about the latest Bothaya video. Everyone seemed to know who this was, and I was like, who? I got scolded. I'm pretty sure one of my friends fake fainted. Not knowing RecTubers is one thing in such a small community, and it didn't take me long to start getting all excited seeing Bo online and probably spam inviting him and wondering what would happen if he actually joined my game. Yes, I too was a normal Rec Room player once. Memories. But there's a lot of people running around playing the game who don't even know the term RecTuber at all. It's very specific to Rec Room, and if you don't know, you probably think it's like a TV show based on the game or something like that. I still refuse to entertain the word Rec Talker though. Just sounds weird. Number 17. Odd terms like inventions. Inventions are another thing that, if talked about to newer players, usually leads to sheer confusion. Inventing what? Spawning? Huh? Back in 2021, when I played a fair bit of the game, but I didn't ever touch a maker pen, my friends would take out theirs and start spawning in everything from like 50 basketballs to cursed inventions they discovered in the store, and I'd stand idly by, wondering how they were capable of this. It wasn't until way further down the road that I realized how you even create these. Inventions are a long path of bewilderment, awe, and finally, oh, that makes sense. I get it now. It's a journey, so just be ready for it. Number 18, how to adjust audio settings. Please tell me that all of you know how to use your watch settings by now, because if you don't, you're probably running around with everything at 100, and that's gotta be a loud way to live your Rec Room life. Your feet walking is making a constant shwoop shwoop noise in your ears, the golden trophy trumpets are causing hearing damage, and you probably have to shout over the birds chirping outside your dorm window. Sadly, many players don't dig around in their watch settings too much, so I wouldn't be surprised if tons of people are still running around super confused by everything in the game is screaming at them. Number 19, how to put swords or other items on your back. I didn't know you could put items on your back for ages after playing quests, and even once I found out, it took me no less than 15 tries to actually succeed in getting the sword to stay there instead of just clinking to the ground. This is one of those random if you know Rec Room moments, and it's puzzling to most of us, especially when you're on screen mode in Rec Royale and you didn't even realize the map existed because it's just so confusing to try and pull it out. Number 20. Why people are so toxic. I'm actually still very unclear about why people are toxic in a social game, because the normal rationale of, well, they're somewhat anonymous since it's the internet, doesn't really excuse the behavior in my opinion. I mean, you're still standing there, literally saying something awful to another person who, unless your IQ is the same as your age, you probably understand is an actual human being on the receiving end of those words. I don't know. I may never know. I was level 1 in Rec Room on day 1 when I encountered my first toxic players, and I encountered some the other day too, 3.5 years later. The negative Nancys are alive and well in Rec Room, and I'm sorry. I just can't stop being confused as to why they can't just get along and be civil, like the rest of us. Number 21, why you spawn in certain places in the rec center. Wait, last time I spawned in, I was over there. What the heck? You look at your friend in disbelief. Is it random? Is Coach tricking me today? No, it depends where you came from. If you come from Golden Trophy, you spawn here by the mirror couples. If you come from your dorm room, you spawn in the main hallway, and if you come from a PvP-like showdown, you're over by the basketball court. I'm ashamed to admit that this confused me for well over a year of playing the game consistently before I saw the signs above the door that made me realize there's different sections. Number 22, how to wall run in Stunt Runner and games like Parkour. Well, I still don't fully know how, so I'm still baffled by this. Number 23, how Holotars work. So the first time a Holotar popped up in a room and started talking to me, I nearly freaked out. I didn't know it wasn't a real player. I know if you're level 50, you're probably laughing and thinking, wow, Tara, you were so dumb, but I can assure you, Holotars have been confounding new Rec Room players since the dawn of time, or at least as long as they've been around. Number 24, what potions, film, and KO stickers do. Do you even know now? If so, good for you, but potions are a mysterious thing to many players. No one really uses film, so it's just a thing people hate getting and probably never understand what it's for, just that it could have been tokens in the reward box and it's not. And KO stickers? It takes a close eye when playing something like paintball to even notice they exist. Don't get me wrong, I think all of these items are cool, but they definitely lead a muddled existence at best. Number 25, how to mute or block someone. To this day, I see Rec Room players tolerating completely toxic behavior because they're not sure, or maybe they just forget that you can mute and block others. It's like this big, murky mystery on how to do it, and so people just put up with all the screaming and the mic spamming. I don't get it. Number 26, how to accept an invite. I swear, new players are the worst for not knowing how to accept invites. I mean, I get it. It goes back to the previous point about not knowing how a watch works, but still, their confusion is annoying. Number 27, how to attend an event that you RSVP'd to. Events are definitely an ordeal if you don't know what you're doing. When I host events, there's always confused players who just go to a public lobby of the room that the event is being held in without actually going to the event itself. Obviously, that won't work and they end up just missing the whole event. Number 28, how to recall a consumable. Something that used to make me puzzled was how someone could take out a bubbly, pop the top, and then put it away. That's the magic of the recall button. I had no idea how that worked and how they managed to save the bubbly and repeatedly cause the effect of the cork popping. I was so naive back then. Number 29, why store items are priced so randomly. I think everyone has experienced the painful bewilderment when they go to buy a baseball cap and it's 1,300 tokens and a tiny cuff bracelet beside it is double. They're both accessories, the hat looks cooler, yet it's cheaper, and they're both from the same sort of set. This happens all the time in Rec Room, and the fact that they don't just streamline all the prices is a source of angst for many. I literally remember one time they brought back the samurai sets, and they put them beside a recolor which was a lot more expensive. I was just shaking my head in confusion. Number 30, how to blow out candles on Rec Room cakes. I used to think you actually had to blow them out like a real life candle. I know. That's not how it works. While there's many things that confuse Rec Room players, there's also things that happen to every Rec Room player, which is why you should watch the video that I put on screen here next. It's so relatable that it hurts. I'll see you over there. Tarapeutic out.